I decided I didn't want to see somebody because they had voted for Trump. And it was such a fascinating social experiment to go into the red pill culture because the way that he had been informed about why women don't want to date men who support Trump included none of the reasons why I don't want to date men who support Trump. And when he shared the podcast episode that explained his view of why I might think that it's against my values to date someone who supports Trump, which is already problematic. The two reasons were, one, women want to stand against Trump because they want to maintain their female friendships, and women value, this is what this alt-right male podcaster was saying, women value kindness, and Trump is not perceived to be kind. And so that's one reason. It's because we want to maintain our female friendships. And then the other reason was because we want a leader in our partner. And left-leaning women have been brainwashed to see leadership as being visible on social media about global issues like Palestine. And so because we're bio-wired to want leaders, and the left has brainwashed us to tell us that real leaders would post these political perspectives online, if they're not doing that, then they're not a real leader. And so our biology rejects them. It was fascinating. I was this is offensive that you're not just gonna talk to me, a left-leaning woman, about why I don't want to date you. But this has come up a few times, even with my ex. He was close friends with people who would throw America First parties, and I was I don't like that person.
So that's really strange and developing. Now people are just boycotting the people who just voted for Trump. I have not seen these type of videos in Biden era, and it's new for me. People are just boycotting the people who just voted for MAGA, and a lot of them are now regretting their vote, but some people are still, they are saying, no, President Trump is super. He's doing perfect. So are you one of them? Have you voted for President Trump? Let me know in the comment section.
For me, my reason is I want to be with a man who's going to stand up to aggressors and abusers. Because the only way that our world heals is for men to actively take a stand in their relationships with other men around what is acceptable behavior toward women. Violence against women, to me, is the root evil of our world. And until men will reinforce to each other what is actually masculine, which is not harming vulnerable people, things won't change. That is the crux, in my mind, of healing the world. And I do think women have power in not partnering with men who are not doing that. And so with my ex, he did not draw lines with men who were cheating, men who were MAGA.
Men who were MAGA.
Men who had, even if he wasn't doing it, he wouldn't draw the line with them. So he's not part of the change. And then with this guy, he was just so far beyond even wanting to intellectually engage with a viewpoint that wasn't his, aka mine, that is a ripple effect throughout the rest of the relationship. But I'm curious, guys, do you guys date people, if you're a woman, do you date men who support Trump, and how do you get around that?
Yeah, what would be your take? Are you gonna date a person who support Trump? Let me know in the comment section, guys.
And what do you think about my theory about what needs to happen and why it's really men drawing lines with men, and also women drawing lines with the men in their life, essentially potentially having to be I would rather be celibate for the rest of my life.
I can't believe people just started talking about it openly. They are openly boycotting the people who just voted for Trump.
Be with a man who will not defend women. And defending women includes setting boundaries with men who are aggressors toward women. Because I'm a woman, so if you're not setting that boundary, you're actually not defending me. It actually becomes that personal. Do you hear what I'm saying? Is that also how you're thinking about it? And if you're a dude, if you supported Trump, how would you justify that to a female partner? How would you want her to feel about that as it relates to your willingness to protect her?
I am so genuinely at a point where the thought of having to have a conversation with anybody who voted for Trump, still supports Trump, makes me want to die. Like, at this point, it has been proven time and time and time and time again that it was a mistake to vote for him. And they don't admit it. Some people admit it. I'm not going to say that there are not people who are like, okay, this was stupid. But there are so many that are still 10 toes down. 10 toes down on, yep, he's doing great. He's making America great again. Have you checked gas prices?
Have you checked gas prices? Have you checked grocery prices? And have you checked a whole inflation rate? But he says economy is going perfect. He says our stock market is high in the history.
It's one of your things, right? Cheaper gas, cheaper groceries, no more war.
Yeah, no more war. He made a lot of promises, and one of them were, I will not start a war, and I will cut gas prices and each and everything up to 50%. So these were his promises. And after he became a president, he started a war. I can't believe in the first phase of his second term, he was saying, I'm a peacemaker. I have stopped 8 wars in the world. And I don't know what happened then. He started a war himself.
Those things mattered to you, right? Yeah, well, he lied to you. Newsflash, she was right. You were wrong. She told you this was going to happen. We told you this was going to happen. Gas is so ridiculously expensive, and it's just going to keep getting worse because, also, newsflash, bombing Iran to help his little buddy he's in his pocket just to cover up whatever Donald Trump has done wasn't a good idea. It was not in the interest of the American people. None of it is. None of our tax dollars are going to anything that actually benefit Americans. And if
so people started talking about it openly, and that's very developing.
Sick of it yet? Dear God, I'm begging you to wake up. I'm so sick of it. Like, I can't even have a conversation with you at this point if you still support it.
If you're a Trump supporter, just know that there are 4 things that everybody who's not a Trump supporter thinks about you. And so far, you've done nothing to disprove these things. 1, you're uneducated. And I don't mean uneducated in the sense that you didn't go to school and learn to read or do basic arithmetic. I mean, you're uneducated as far as what's going on in the world. You got goggles on, only paying attention to what you want to pay attention to.
Not just what's going on in the world, what's going on inside USA, what's going on with the grocery prices, what's going on with the gas prices, what ICE is just doing. And he's talking about world, and Trump just started a war. Even everybody is facing consequences of President Trump being a president, not just in USA, outside of USA as well. People are facing inflation outside of USA as well. Do you know this? People are paying up to 200% more. People are paying up to 200% more for the power, for the oil prices and everything. You know, everything just got expensive, skyrocketed.
You lack empathy. You don't care what happens to somebody else as long as it doesn't happen to you. Imagine for a moment the government started saying, hey, your marriage is illegal. How would you feel about that? How would you feel about that? But you don't care that it's happening to gay people as long as it doesn't happen to you. 3, you lack independent thinking skills, meaning you are incapable of forming your own thoughts, opinions, or viewpoints on things. You need pundit talking points from Fox News or whatever that other OAN. You need those
Fox News is one of the favorite Trump channel, and he whenever he did a press conference and everywhere he says, I hate media, I don't like media, you're from fake news media, but the only network he likes is Fox News.
To tell you what to believe. You don't have the ability to look into those claims and maybe think something else. It's confirmation bias. You live in this bubble and you refuse to step outside of it. 4, and I think this is the most important one. I think
please get out of this bubble.
One you really need to work on if you have the ability, and that is critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to look at a situation and say to yourself, you know what, that's kind of fucked up. That's not right, and you can't do that. So I look forward to all the laughing emoji reactions to this video, because the people that I just made these claims about don't have the ability to defend themselves. So they do so just with the laughing emoji. So fire.
So I've been thinking about what I wanted to say about this for like all day. And let me be clear. If you voted for Trump, you are not a good person. Just point blank. This is not about voting for Republicans. This is voting for somebody that's a misogynist, a sexist, a homophobe, a rapist, and it's unacceptable. You voting for him puts the lives and the rights of people like me, my partner, women, the elderly, minorities in danger, and there's absolutely no rhyme or reason to do it. The cognitive dissonance is pretty deafening. And so I really hope that you live with the consequences of what's going to happen the next 4 years. Don't complain, don't bitch, because the country is going to implode and you're going to get exactly what you asked for. So I don't want to hear a damn thing when all those promises absolutely don't come true.
People are tired, and do you think Trump is going to do something in the upcoming 2 years? And I can't believe 2 years left for the Trump second term. It's more 2 years. Be ready.
And make no mistake, if you are somebody in my life who voted for Trump, you are no longer part of my life. I do not want to talk to you. I do not want to see you. You are no longer welcome in my life.
That's a very serious situation. People are breaking with the MAGA people, and I have not seen these videos in Biden era, as I told you before.
I used to date somebody who is now MAGA. Of course, back then, we didn't know what that was. It didn't exist. But there were signs. He could not finish unless he was watching trans porn. And he was also disgusted by gay people and trans people in general, like in his life. Like, these are the reasons why we weren't together for very long. I didn't know, and it slowly became revealed to me. I'm sure he's in ICE now. I'm sure that, he's still hanging on strong to all of that. But yeah, he was really reliant on trans women to get off. And so at the same time, really hating their existence. And I think the reason why MAGA is so involved in trying to literally take away trans lives, it's a kink. Like they have such a sexual investment in trans lives, and it makes them hate themselves and want to destroy the object of their obsession. And so that's why they are obsessed, because they can't get off without it.
If you voted for Trump, don't talk to me.
Yeah, this issue is also very important. A lot of people, even a lot of Democrats, will support President Trump because he said there will be only two genders in United States. It's the official policy of USA that only two genders, male and female. I have seen those videos, like a lot of Democrats were supporting Trump on this issue. But here we are going to talk about the common issues of people, the daily life issues, like the grocery issues, inflation, what's happening at Walmart. Everything has just got expensive after the war with Iran.
Don't look at me. Don't come near me. Don't come near my friends. If you're confused on why people are so angry and heartbroken and grieving, then you probably have no idea what's going on. First of all, because everything is going to be ruled by the Republicans now, and they have a conservative court. We're looking at the ACA being repealed. That's the Affordable Care Act. Thanks, Obama. So for people like me who are on the Affordable Care Act, because they can't work a full-time job, they're not going to be able to afford or have access to health insurance. Okay? The only way that I can get health insurance is through the ACA. My plan as it is without the subsidy, $400. I pay about $50 for that right now. Because I'm self-employed, I will have no insurance when that is repealed. My medication costs $20,000 per dose. I currently get that through the drug company through a special little thing that only is available if you have health insurance. So please understand that people like me, people in my communities, are going to die. And that's what you have voted for. So, in a few years, when all these policies start going into effect, if you never see me and my family again, it's because we had to fucking move. And it's your fault.
Yeah, in the end, everybody has to suffer. Even the people who just not voted for Trump, they also have to suffer the consequences of President Trump being president.
Different than you, love different than you, and live different than you in a different place, in a different setting. And I'm assuming it's those people that you can't genuinely, personally relate to that warned you, please do not let a man like that, who does and says the things he does, into a position of power. It threatens my life. It threatens my well-being. It threatens my existence. And you were like, no, it's chill. You're overreacting. You're misled. You're brainwashed. Hold up. Let me get this right. So this week, I have seen so much content that says something along the lines of, don't let politics ruin your friendships. Do not let politics get in the way of your relationships. So much content that shares this sentiment, and I've looked into it genuinely, and from my perspective, I can see across
Yeah,
the
I
board.
also believe please don't ruin your friendship over politics. But now it's just crossing the limits. It's just crossing the red line. People are freaking out. They're angry. They are tired. They are facing consequences. And still, if Amaga people came and they say President Trump is just doing great, then at that point they are just breaking with them.
Unanimously, that type of outspeak is coming specifically from either A, somebody who doesn't actively oppose Donald Trump's candidacy, or B, somebody who genuinely supports and sympathizes with Donald Trump. And it made me wonder why. Why is it people that hold space for a man like Donald Trump, why is it that those people are also the people having to pitch some sort of disclaimer saying politics shouldn't affect your personal relationships? Could it be because you want to be able to, at some capacity, enable, endorse, and empower a man like that who's done the things he's done into a position of power without suffering the consequences for it? Now, look, I get it. You want to be so disconnected from politics that it doesn't affect your personal lives. However, we have all lived in the same America for the last decade. We've seen and heard the warnings. We've seen and heard people ringing and sounding the bell. You can't ignore the bell, ignore their warnings, ignore their cries, and then expect it to not affect your personal life. You're gonna lose some friends. And with all due respect, rightfully so. Whether or not you can relate to the warnings doesn't matter. Did you listen to them? Did you hold space for them? And did you care for your neighbor the way you care for that man? Because people were telling you, and I'm assuming it's people that look different than you, love different than you, and live different than you in a different place, in a different setting. And I'm assuming it's those people that you can't genuinely, personally relate to that warned you, please do not let a man like that, who does and says the things he does, into a position of power. It threatens my life. It threatens my well-being. It threatens my existence. And you were like, no, it's chill.
Yeah, everything just got worse in these days after a war with Iran. And what are the achievements of President Trump so far? It's been more than, I think, 1.5 years of second term of President Trump. So what are the achievements? Are you going to vote again for the Republicans in 2028? J.D. Vance might be running for a president, and he is hoping for a president of USA for the very first time. So are you going to vote for that person? And what are the achievements of president so far? He made a lot of promises during election campaign, and he didn't fulfill the promises. The first promise was, I will make 90 days in the first 90 days. And he didn't fulfill that promise. Then he said, I will stop wars in the world, and I'm a peacemaker. Even in the first phase, in the first year of his second term, he said a lot of time, I'm a peacemaker. I deserve Nobel Peace Prize, and each and everything. You are a witness to those videos. I hope you have seen those videos. And then what happened? He just started a war himself. So I was like, oh. And after a war, everything just gotten worse. Everything just got expensive in USA and outside of USA as well. So everyone is suffering. Everyone is facing consequences. That's why they are just breaking with the MAGA people. So what is your opinion? What do you want to say? Let me know in the comment section, guys. And please, I request you to click on the red subscribe button. It's very important. If you want to support my channel, click on the red subscribe button. I will bring more important videos for you. Till then, please take care of yourself.